Aloha, adventurers. Today on Elevate Thursday, we're talking to you, chronic starters who never finish. So, this came up in my group program about starting things, getting really excited, starting things, and then never quite finishing it off. Now, you're in perfect company because I am one of those people. I used to be one of these people. And I want to dive into this because it can really stop the flow of what you're creating in your business. Okay. It also, why it's so important is because if you are always doing this, if you're always starting something and never finishing it, you start to lose trust and faith in yourself that you can actually continue, be consistent, and create what it is that you want through your business, right? So, this is for you if you are a chronic starter but you fail to finish. This live is especially for you. So, the first few questions that I like to ask myself if I am in this habit, is this: why do you never finish? And when you ask yourself this question, you're going to dive deep into this. You're going to sit, get your journal, however it is that you reflect, and ask yourself, why do I never finish? What is the underlying reason as to why I don't want to finish something? Okay. Now, for example, for me, when I never finished things, when I started things, I was so excited about them. I got into them and then I got kind of bored and I just disappeared. The reason why I never finished anything was because I was really afraid of succeeding, right? So you're going to ask yourself, as a chronic starter who never finishes, you're going to ask yourself this question: why do I never finish? What is really going on underneath all of my things, underneath all of it, that causes me to not want to finish? Okay. Aloha for those who are catching me live on Facebook. Hi to those on Instagram and for those watching the replay. Drop me comments as we go along. I will answer your questions and I love lots of interaction, as you know. So, as a chronic starter who never finishes, ask yourself that question and allow yourself to really explore all of the possible reasons of why you never finish your things. Okay. Is it because you're like, I don't have enough time, or it gets really boring? Okay. So, if it's really boring, why is it so boring? Okay. The question, how to get deeper on this, is this: keep asking yourself why. Okay. So, why do I never finish? I get really bored. Why do I get bored? Well, I get bored because I lose interest. Okay. So, why do you lose interest? Well, because it's no longer exciting. Why is it no longer exciting? And you just keep asking the same question over and over again. It sounds really repetitive, but what happens when you ask this question over and over again is that eventually the real reason pops up. And it's like, oh, that's actually what's happening. Okay. So this is a way of kind of bypassing your mind, giving you reasons which are fake, giving you the surface reasons of why you never finish. By asking the same question over and over again, it kind of gets bored and it gets a bit lazy. Your ego's like, oh God, this is so easy. I'm just going to keep answering. And then pop, the real reason comes out. So you will know the real reason why you never finish when it feels like an aha moment. Okay. When you get the, oh, shiz, that's why I never finished. You'll get that feeling. Okay. So, for chronic starters who never finish, ask yourself this question: why do you never finish? It's really, the truth is, you don't actually need to know why you never finish. You just need to know that you don't want to do it anymore. Okay. So if it feels like something that's frustrating you, then all you really need to know is that you don't need to do it anymore. For some of you, though, knowing why you never finish is a really useful thing for you to know, because it kind of gives you a bit more self acceptance. Okay. And it gives you a deeper level of which you can work on yourself. Yeah. Now, the next question is kind of like the opposite of this. And this is really just unraveling the reasons of why you start things and you don't finish it. Okay. The next question is this: what motivates you to start? Okay. So a lot of people who I talk to about this, who are chronic starters and never finish, who was me. The reason, the motivating factor to start anything is always like the excitement. It's new, it's fun, it feels exciting, and you're like gung ho and you're going for it. And then it gets a little bit boring and stagnant and stale. And it's almost like your attention just goes, next shiny thing, let's go. Okay. So knowing what motivates you to start is important because you're going to know your habits of starting things. Okay. So if excitement or the next shiny thing is your habit of starting things and it's no longer serving you anymore, you get to notice that. And when you notice that, you can choose to do something different. I'm jumping ahead. We're going to dive into this a little more. Okay. But firstly, just sit back with your journal, ask yourself what actually motivates you to start. What's the general pattern? As I said before, my general pattern of starting anything is excitement. And so I'm like, yes, let's do it. And I used to run out of steam and just like not finish it. Now, there's two reasons why you might not be finishing this, and we're going to get to that. Okay. The last question that you want to ask yourself if you're a chronic starter who never finishes is this: does this serve me? Does this pattern serve me? Yeah. Or is it just freaking frustrating? Yeah, because I never feel like I get anywhere. I start it and then I don't ever finish it. If it is not serving you, you got to change it. Yeah. If you have visions, if you have a vision for your business and you feel like you're not getting there because of this pattern of starting but never finishing, you have to change it. So really, is this pattern serving me? Now, there are two possible ways of how this could land, right? Yes, it serves me, or no, it doesn't. And it depends on the situation. So we're going to dive even deeper. So firstly, let's look at the cure of this, okay? So if this pattern in general is not serving you, do the opposite. And what I mean by doing the opposite is do the opposite. So if you don't finish things usually, I want you to put your head down and finish the damn thing, okay? There is wisdom in doing something that isn't habitual, especially if the habit is not serving us anymore. Okay, so if this habit of chronically starting and never finishing your things is not serving you, then the cure is to do the opposite. Okay, finish it. If you have to get an accountability partner to tell you, to be on your tail and be like, have you done the thing? Get that. If you have to tie yourself to your computer to finish your freebie or whatever it is, do it. What this is going to do is it's going to undo a habit. And when you undo a habit, you end up with more choices. Okay. So rather than being in the pattern of chronically starting and never finishing, you're now going to start exercising the choice of actually starting something and finishing it. Yeah. And then you can start to use your wisdom as to when it's appropriate to stop something midway and when it's appropriate to actually finish it all the way. But you can't have that wisdom if you're chronically starting and never finishing, right? You need to exercise the other side, which is starting something and finishing it all the way through to completion. Okay. So by doing the opposite, if chronically starting and never finishing is not serving you, do the opposite. Make yourself finish the thing that you started. And this then activates the choice of stopping or completing, right? Aloha for those on Facebook, hi to those on Instagram, and welcome to those who are watching the replay. Drop me your comments. Tell me what is dropping in for you in this Elevate Thursday. And this one is especially for those of you who are chronic starters who never finish and you're just like, I think this needs to change. So the other option of this is it kind of does serve you, right? That is, you're meant to stop. So if you are getting frustrated with this constant start, stop, but it's like you're meant to, you know that you're meant to, then the cure for this is to trust the process. Okay. There is a reason why you might have to go and explore something halfway and then go, actually, no, that's not for me. Okay. That could be the reason. And I have personally experienced this. I've experienced both sides, right? I've experienced the side of which it's not serving me and I need to push myself to finish the thing, which then gives me more freedom. And I've also experienced this where I am meant to stop. And you have to step into a level of self-acceptance that way, that very experiential way, is your way of learning. And so you get to trust the process. everything that you have started that you don't finish is actually part of the process and is meant to teach you something, okay? And maybe it's just that it's meant to teach you that this isn't actually the thing that you want to do. So for me, I know that this is true. There's a lot in me that needs to experience something for a good while to realize that it's not for me. It's kind of frustrating. It used to be quite frustrating. Now I'm a little bit more compassionate to myself. And I realize that this is just the way that I learn. I have to try it. I literally have to try it. I can't just listen to other people say, yes, it is good, or no, it's not good. I have to go and experience it in order for me to know that I'm making the right decision. So do I do this? Let's give it a go. No, it's not meant to me. Cool. We move on, right? So does this serve me? If it's not serving you, do the opposite. If it is kind of serving you, trust the process, okay? Stop being so frustrated or annoyed at yourself, yeah? Now, the reason why, there's two ways that this could go, yeah? The reason why you might be a chronic starter that never finishes is that your soul is really talking to you in this point, okay? So your soul will know when you're meant to stop. Your soul will know when you're meant to start, okay? And often, I believe the way that my soul talks to me is through the energy of excitement. It gets excited about something and it's like, go. And so that's the energy that I follow when I create things, okay? And so your soul knows when to start and also knows when to stop. So when you are stopping, if you're a chronic starter who never finishes, when you are stopping, are you listening to your soul or are you listening to your ego? And the way you differentiate between these two is asking yourself the questions that we started off at the start of the live. Yeah. Why do you never finish? What motivates you to start? Does this serve me? You will know whether it is your ego stopping you. Yeah. Your ego might be like underneath going, I'm a little bit afraid of success. So therefore, let's sabotage this, right? And so you stop. That would be listening to the ego. Rather than say listening to your soul, which might be like, okay, you've tried enough now. Now you know it's not for you. We needed to do that. Let's move on. Yeah. So your soul will know when to start and when to stop something. So are you listening to your soul or your ego? Equally, your ego can tell you when to start something, right? So some of the reasons why we become chronic starters who never finish is because we've been following the ego and the ego runs out of juice, right? And it's like your soul's like, this is not, we are so not meant to be doing this. Like, why are you doing it? And so it pulls you up. Okay. So at both points here, whether you're starting or stopping, you need to ask, is this what my soul wants me to do? Or is my ego got involved and it's giving me directions? Because here's the thing. Remember that your ego is meant to be in support of your soul. Your ego is not leading the way. That is your mind. Yeah, the mind is tied in with the ego. Your soul is the one who leads the way. The ego, the mind, the logic follows the magic, and it supports what it is that your soul desires to do. Right? So your soul will know when to start and stop. So are you listening to your soul or your ego? Oh, this has been fun. This has been so fun. I cannot wait to hear what is dropping in for you guys. I cannot wait to hear any questions that you have. For those of you who want to play, this hashtag home play, you can drop this into the Soul Led Business Revolution, which is my free group. And here is your home play for the week. So go away and really reflect this week of where do I stop myself from completing projects, promises, or my dreams, right? The start-stop habit doesn't just need to be projects, although that's the one that we see the most, right, in business. It can also be promises that you make to yourself. You're like, I promise myself that I'm going to go and, I don't know, run 3 times a week, and you stop yourself, even though it's something you really want to do, yeah? Equally, with your dreams, where are you stopping yourself? Where are you starting on your dream and then pulling back and not finishing it? Okay. The reason why this is so important, as I said right at the start, is that every time you stop yourself from something that your soul desires, you start to lose trust and faith in your ability to create what it is that you desire in your life. Yeah. And the more that we do that, the less trust we have and the less willing we are to go and go for what it is that we want. Okay. So hashtag home play. Where do I stop myself from completing projects, promises, or my dreams? Why? Yeah. Then you can ask the question, is this a soul directive or an ego directive? And the last question is, how am I going to change this? So if it's not from soul and it's from ego, how am I going to change this? I want you to come up with something practical for you to do so that this isn't just mind fodder where you're like, oh, okay, cool, I know now. It's like, no, we want to change the habit. So in order to change the habit, we have to do something different. So I really want you to end your home play with telling us how you are going to change this. Now, this is especially for those in my free group, the Soul Led Business Revolution. And you can join us if you're not already there. There are loads of, I'm just popping in the URL so you can join us in there. There are loads of free things for you to dive into, okay, including the chance to participate in home play. So home play is just my way of like getting you to work on your mindset, your energy, possibly even some strategy, and getting some feedback as to what's going on. Okay. So if you want to join the Soul Led Business Revolution, there is the URL tiny.cc/SLBR. You'll be asked 3 questions to hop into the group. And then you've got access to all of these free resources, including Elevate Thursday's home play and feedback from me. All right, lovelies, I hope that this was useful for you, especially to those who are chronic starters and never finish, including people who are on projects, dreams. Like if you're not finishing projects, dreams, or promises to yourself, you're included in this, okay? I can't wait to hear what resonated with you during this live. I don't got words today. I don't got words. So I'm just going to kill it. We're out. Bye for now.